In September 2003, Kanye West debuted Through the Wire, and the world would never be the same. With this song, Kanye went from being just a great producer to being an incredible artist who was determined to show the world what he could do. Today, I'm going to dig into the backstory of Ye's Through the Wire, talk about the production, the sampling, try and recreate it myself, and show you why this song is one of the greats.
I spit it through the wire, man. Too much stuff.
In 2002, Kanye had already made a name for himself as a producer. He'd worked with artists like Foxy Brown, Prez, Goodie Mob, and more. If you listen to some of his early productions in the late 90s, it sounds like his style is evolving. It definitely sounds like the late 90s, but you can hear that he's beginning to experiment with a sampling style that he's very famous for called Chipmunk Soul. Take the 1998 Jermaine Dupri song Turn It Out featuring Nas. This song starts with an unaltered sample of a 1974 Willie Hutch song,
Give me some of that good old love.
before dropping right into,
I ain't coming down.
what sounds exactly like 1999.
Spit at the world. What lyrics I can spit at your girl. Spit.
Or take the 1999 Harlem World song You Made Me, which samples a 1974 Eddie Kendrick song, but in this case it's chopped up and he's added drums on top. And lightning, thunder. There are other examples in Kanye's early production of him experimenting with this, going up or down with samples to achieve a different effect, but his big break came in 2001 with the Jay-Z album The Blueprint. Kanye produced 4 tracks on this, including the huge hit Izzo. Now we're getting into signature Kanye sound. For this one, he sampled the 1969 Jackson 5 song I Want You Back and pitched it down.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8th wonder of the world, the flow of the century. Oh, it's time to...
The Blueprint was huge for Jay-Z, and as a result, Kanye. After this album, Kanye worked with a ton of artists like Freeway, Ludacris, Alicia Keys, and Janet Jackson. But despite all of this, he didn't want to be just a producer, he wanted to be a rapper himself. He had already been rapping for years, but in 2001, he was only seen as a producer, and he didn't fit the gangster rap image that was popular at the time. Kanye almost landed an artist deal at Capitol, but it fell through. He was just too different, what with his backpack and polo and... Kanye was already involved with Roc-a-Fella Records as an in-house producer, so in order to prevent him from going anywhere else, Roc-a-Fella head Damon Dash reluctantly agreed to sign him. Even then, Kanye was very different from his label mates. Again, the backpack, the polo, it was all very different. Then on October 23rd, 2002, everything, Kanye's career trajectory, the face of hip-hop, the world, changed. Around 3 a.m. on October 23rd, 2002, Kanye left to go home after a long night in the studio in LA. He fell asleep at the wheel and crashed into another vehicle. It nearly killed him, and his jaw was fractured in 3 places. He was brought to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he had a plate put in his chin and his jaw wired shut. So here's Kanye. He's frustrated that no one will take him seriously as a rapper. Now he's badly injured from a car accident. His jaw's wired shut, so he can't even eat and barely talk. And then, laying in the hospital bed, he hears this. That's the 1985 song Through the Fire by Chaka Khan. The last line of the chorus, right down to the wire, even through the fire, helped Kanye get through his hospital stay, and a short 2 weeks later, just 2 weeks, he began work on what would become his first and maybe most important single as an artist, Through the Wire. The production on this song is relatively straightforward, and it's a great example of Kanye's Chipmunk Soul style. Kanye took the last chorus of Chaka Khan's Through the Fire, sped it up, chopped it up, and pitched it up a major third, thus giving the Chipmunk sound. Here it is sped up, and then pitched up. Kanye's chorus is a longer sample, which is just the last chorus of Chaka Khan's song. For the verse, he's got a few shorter samples strung together from around the same part of the song. Then for the drums, Kanye sampled the Outkast song Players Ball Extended Remix. It's got some open drums at the beginning and he just grabbed the hits that he liked. So we got a kick, we got a snare with the little hi-hat in it, and then we got a hi-hat by itself. He's also adding claps and bongos. It's not an early Kanye song without those bongos. Then he added some electric bass on top. There's no official bass credit on the album, but the internet tells me it's either Scott Ward or Ken Lewis. Speaking of album credits, the bass player on the original Chaka Khan song, the legendary Nathan East. Drums, John J.R. Robinson. Keys, David Foster. These are some of the biggest studio musicians imaginable, and because they're on the original Chaka Khan song, they're also technically on the Kanye song. Production-wise, this is already incredible. It's not too complicated. It's just the pitched up and sped up sample of Chaka Khan with drums and bass added, but it sounds and feels so good, and it's an entirely new song.
For dessert, somebody order pancakes, I just sip the scissor. That right there could drive a sane man berserk. Not to worry, Mr. Ace to the Izzo's back to Wizard. I think you can soul my mom.
We need to overhaul the way that sampling works in this country because Kanye didn't get writing credit for this. Because he sampled it, the writing credit went to the original writers of Through the Fire. Kanye got zero credit, even though this is clearly an entirely new song. And we haven't even talked about the lyrics yet. Just before the song was recorded, Kanye was fighting to be taken seriously as a rapper, so the fact that he came out with this song as his first single, we have to talk about the lyrics. First of all, keep in mind that Through the Wire features Kanye rapping with his jaw wired shut. He's still just a few weeks out from a very serious car accident and he cannot open his jaw. This song actually first appeared on his mixtape Get Well Soon and was later re-recorded, but still jaw wired shut. There's a couple differences between the mixtape version and the final version, and we'll get into that. But the biggest thing is that on the mixtape version, he's a little harder to understand. Presumably, by the time he re-recorded it, still with his jaw wired shut, he'd figured out how to enunciate a little better. So, here we go.
I drink a boost for breakfast, an insure for dessert.
Okay, I think it's hilarious that no one's heard him rap before, and he comes right out of the gate bragging about his old people nutritional drinks. Amazing.
Somebody order pancakes, I just sip the scissor.
This is a nod to the 3 6 Mafia song Sippin' on Some Scissorp, though in their case, scissorp is cough syrup with codeine mixed into soda, and in Kanye's case, it's literally pancake syrup. Again, because he can't open his mouth to eat pancakes. It's so good.
That right there could drive a sane man berserk. Not to worry, Mr. Ace to the Izzo's back to Wizard.
As we've mentioned, Kanye produced the Jay-Z song Izzo the previous year. So Mr. H to the Izzo, there you go.
How do you console my mom or give her light support? Telling her son's on life support. And just imagine how my girl feel on the plane, scared as hell that a guy look like Emmett Till.
Emmett Till was a black teenager who was brutally murdered in 1955 for allegedly whistling at a white woman. This is not a light reference.
She was with me before the deal. She been trying to be mine. She a Delta, so she been throwing that dynasty sign.
He's talking about his girlfriend at the time who was with him before he signed with Roc-a-Fella, which uses this hand sign, same as the Data Sigma Theta sorority.
I know use me trying to be lying. I've been trying to be signed, trying to be a millionaire. How I use 2 lifelines.
We've got a reference to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then also the fact that this is actually Kanye's second serious car accident. So, 2 lifelines.
In the same hospital where Biggie Smalls died.
This is true. Biggie actually died in 1997 at Cedars-Sinai Hospital where Kanye was. In the original mixtape version, the lyric is a little different.
In the same hospital where Big and Tupac died.
Now, the lyric where Big and Tupac died was changed because Tupac actually died in a different hospital in Nevada.
The doctor said I had blood clots, but I ain't Jamaican, man.
Blood clot is a Jamaican insult that has a variety of uses. Biggie, who he just mentioned, was also the child of Jamaican immigrants and used the term blood clot in a verse on the posthumous release You're Nobody Till Somebody Kills You in 1997. Also, Kanye's referencing, regular blood clots. There's layers.
Story on MTV, and I ain't trying to make a band.
Sean P. Diddy Combs had a show at the time on MTV called Making the Band, and Kanye is also referencing the fact that he's not trying to make a band as in $1,000. He's not trying to make money, he's just trying to tell his story.
I swear this right here, history in the making, man.
I mean, he was right. Then we've got another chorus of Kanye explaining stuff, saying, sorry if you can't understand him, his jaw is wired shut, and then we're on to the next verse.
What if somebody from the shadow was ill, got a deal on the hottest rap label around?
Kanye's from Chicago, hottest rap label around is Roc-a-Fella.
But he wasn't talking about coke and birds.
Cocaine and women.
It was more like spoken word. Except he's really putting it down. And he explained the story about how blacks came from glory and what we need to do in the game. Good dude, bad night, right place, wrong time. In the blink of an eye, his whole life changed.
Blink of an eye, very quickly. Also, blink of an eye, he fell asleep at the wheel.
If you could feel how my face felt, you would know how Mace felt. Thank God I ain't too cool for the safe belt.
Mace got his jaw broken after a fight with Ghostface Killah and his entourage. Also, if you're a congressman and you are trying to pass seatbelt legislation and you need a celebrity endorsement, may I suggest to you, Kanye West, dude's a big fan of seatbelts.
I swear to God, driver 2 wanna sue. I got a lawyer for the case to keep us in my safe.
The other driver in the accident suffered 2 broken legs and did sue Kanye over it. But more than that, the lyricism in here, the rhyming within the lines with the line before it and after, it's incredible.
My dogs couldn't tell if I look like Tom Cruise on Vanilla Sky.
Okay, so in the first verse, he references that his girlfriend is worried that he's going to look like Emmett Till, which is a real, awful, horrific, historic reference. And then you have Tom Cruise and Vanilla Sky, which is the exact opposite. Amazing.
It was televised. It's been an accident like Geico. The car was burned up like Pepsi did Michael.
In 1984, Michael Jackson was filming a Pepsi commercial, and there was a pyrotechnics incident, and his hair caught on fire, and he got second-degree burns on his scalp.
I must got an angel, cause look how death missed his ass. Unbreakable, what you thought they call me Mr. Glass?
Okay, M. Night Shyamalan reference from the year 2000.
Look back on my life like the ghost of Christmas past.
Okay, Charles Dickens reference from the year 1843.
Toys R Us where I used to spend that Christmas cash. And I still won't grow up, I'm a grown-ass kid.
Okay, Toys R Us commercial reference from the year 1980.
Where I should be locked up for stupid that I did.
Okay, so the full version of this song censors the word shit, because Chaka agreed to clear the sample only if there was no swearing on it.
But I'm a champion, so I turn tragedy to triumph. Make music that's fire, spit my soul through the wire.
This feels like a nod to the original Chaka Khan lyric, which is right down to the wire, even through the fire, but he's flipped it around. Also, his jaw is still wired shut, so he's literally spitting his soul through the wire. The final version of the song continues the beat a little longer, he talks a little more, and then it fades out. But the mixtape version cuts straight to the Elton John song, I'm Still Standing. Which, I mean, is a choice, but I'm glad he went with the other one. Either way, this song is Kanye showing off not only that he's a great producer, but also an incredible rapper. The flow, the rhyming, the wordplay, the references, and the fact that his jaw is wired shut, like not even a car accident can stop him. Through the Wire was released as a single on September 30th, 2003, and was a big hit, paving the way for the College Dropout, releasing in 2004. This song peaked at number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for 21 weeks. This song is now certified platinum in the US and gold in the UK. In 2005, the College Dropout won a Grammy for Best Rap Album, beating out Beastie Boys, Jay-Z, LL Cool J, and Nelly. Through the Wire itself lost Best Song to Jay-Z's 99 Problems. That's another song for another video. In recent years, Chaka Khan has expressed frustration with this song because while she cleared the sample, she didn't know that Kanye was going to pitch it up. She said she hated the Chipmunk sound and thought it was an insult. However, in 2009, she stated, "Kanye is an absolute sweetheart, truly adorable. I love him and I love that track. The way he's used my sample is so clever. It's like Chaka on helium." And here she is performing on stage with him in 2004 at the VMAs. So... Through the Wire was Kanye's first single as an artist and a rapper, not just a producer. It's an incredible song from the production to the lyrics to the story behind it, and it launched Kanye's career as an artist. It's what first made Kanye into Kanye.